They say the West isn't just a place, it's a way of life. And out here, grit meets grace and stories rise like dust kicked up by hooves. I'm Devin Dole of Devin Out West, and this is Westward, a podcast about horses, cowboy, and faith, humor, and the quiet work of a good life. Whether it's my words or a guest story, I hope you hear something that steadies your heart and stirs your spirit. God is good, and I'm glad you're here. Let's head westward. The Westward Podcast is co-produced with LiveEQ. Learn more about Westward and LiveEQ in the show notes. Welcome back to another episode of Trailer Talks, mini episodes of the Westward Podcast. I'm Devin Dole. I'm actually at the trailer today, which is great. These are mini episodes, very short, bite-sized episodes about horsemanship, about lessons from the saddle, things of that nature. And then the Westward Podcast features kind of the full-length one, which I've been on this kick of covering famous horses through history and things we can learn from their story on the full episodes. And I'm going to keep doing that for a while because you guys are really loving them, and I'm just loving sharing these stories, and it kind of feels like teaching history again. So I'm all about that. So today, I just want to give you a little bit of a pep talk, the kind of pep talk my dad would give us when we were growing up and we were rodeoing. We were gone every week. We were traveling. We were junior rodeoing, high school rodeoing, college rodeoing, the whole gamut. And my dad, God bless him, was very, very good at making sure that we enjoyed what we were doing, that we took it seriously, but that we knew it wasn't a life or death situation if we didn't pick up a check. That we made sure we maintained the love for the horse first and foremost, and then the love for the sport. Made sure that we were good sportsmen. Made sure that we were not pitching a fit or throwing tantrums if we didn't place, if we didn't win, if things weren't going the way that they should. I just want to give you a little pep talk inspired by the stuff my dad used to tell us growing up. If you are in the competition space, if you're rodeoing, if you're showing horses, if you're doing gymkhana, if you're ranch rodeoing, if you're doing anything that involves taking your horse somewhere, pouring in a lot of work into their training, into their performance, and then competing. And that's not going to apply to everybody, but I think that, this could apply to anybody that's in the horse space that maybe just needs to hear this. Couple things he always said. One, you have to try your best. So you can put your head down at night. So you can sleep soundly. So you can look at your horse and say, I gave it all I could. I know you did too. Or, okay, I didn't this time around, but I'm going to figure out how to next time. You got to try your best. I think that's really important. At least for me. It's important for me to know I'm throwing everything I got at this situation. And that's going to look different depending on the situation, depending on my energy, depending on my health, depending on the season of the year. That's going to look different. But am I doing my best? That was something he always told us. When we were, especially in junior rodeo, we were pretty young, right? If we came out of the arena and we had a lackluster run, like missed a calf, whatever, hit all 3 barrels in the trash can on the way out, he would look at us and he'd say, did you do your best? And most of the time we were like, yes. Yeah, and it didn't pan out. Because sometimes your best isn't going to pan out. And that's okay. Because there's going to be another shot down the road. And sometimes, if we were being honest, we would be like, no. Nope, I did not. I just kind of sat there, went through the motions. And that's going to happen too. In life, that's going to happen too. At some point, you're not going to be doing your best. You're just going to be on autopilot because of your circumstances. And you know what? Note that for next time. So he would always check in on that. Did you do your best? Next, he would say, did you have fun? And I know that might ruffle some feathers with with some people that are like, ooh, that's a participation trophy mindset. That's not what I'm saying. And please don't take it that way. But at the end of the day, if you're competing with your horses, and I'm not talking, my folks that are out there making a living on the road. I'm talking like my weekend jackpotters, my hobby competitors, my friends who are raising kids in the junior rodeo space, my high school rodeo kids, things like that. Did you have fun? If you're not having fun, what are you doing here? If you're not out there on your horse, just having fun, win, lose, or draw, we need to figure out what's going on. Is it because you didn't win? Because it's not fun to lose. I know that. Is it because you really don't like what you're doing? Is it because you're not doing your best? And so there's that little nagging voice in your head that's upset at yourself because you know you could be practicing more, riding more, trying harder, you know? Are you not having fun because this just isn't for you right now and you need to take a step back? Are you not having fun because you're playing a comparison game with everybody else around you? Are you looking at their horses, their rig, their tack, their pockets, wishing that you had that too, and now it's no longer fun? Why are you not having fun? He would always ask us, did you have fun? And like 9 times out of 10, it was like, yeah, I did. I did. How could I not? I'm out here on a good horse in the sunshine, like running poles, whatever, roping calves. Of course I had fun. Did I win? No. But that's okay. That part's not fun. And I'm going to beat myself up a little bit. And you know what? I'm going to rewatch the videos. I'm going to figure out what I need to fix. I'm going to go home and I'm going to work on it. But yeah, I had fun. I think we get so caught up in winning, we forget that winning is not going to automatically fill your cup entirely. It's not. You have to have a love for the sport, for the horse, for the daily mundane tasks that get you to that win to really be having fun, right? And at the end of the day, if you're out there on your horse and you're getting a chance to enter up and go run and have, hang out with friends and win, lose, or draw, that should be fun. And if it's not, you got to figure out why. Why am I no longer having fun at this? Is it something I'm doing? Is it my mindset? Where am I being challenged here? And how can I fix it? How can I get back to having fun? So he would ask us, did you do your best? Did you have some fun? And he would ask us, what are you going to work on for next time? And if we went out and we just like smoked it, perfect pattern, whatever. Sometimes it was like, I am going to work on doing that every time. I need to figure out what I did and I need to keep doing it. Sometimes it was like, yeah, I need to be roping the dummy more. I need to be out every night roping the dummy, or like I need to remember to look in the right spot. I need to remember to pick my pocket wisely. I need to remember to set my horse up a little bit better, or whatever it might be. But that question, what are you going to do differently for next time, fell in line with everything else. Because did you do your best? If the answer was no, well, that's what I'm going to work on for next time. Did you have fun? If the answer was no, that's what I need to work on for next time. This needs to be fun. This should be fun. You're on a horse, right? Like, that's a huge blessing. That's a huge blessing. God gave you wings in the form of a horse. This should be fun. And what are you going to do differently for next time? Whatever that looks like. That's up to you. But I think we can get so bogged down in our horses not working the way we want them to, ourselves not riding the way we want to, our videos not coming back the way we want them to look, not picking up checks, not winning, not placing, that all of a sudden we forget the magic that is in what we're doing. And I'm sure, some people will be like, rolling their eyes, like, Devin talking about magic and riding your horse, and that's magical. It's a huge blessing. It's a huge gift to swing a leg over a horse. It is. That's something a big part of the population will never experience. And so, of course, if you're relying on drawing a check to pay your mortgage that month, things change a little bit, right? If you're going down the road and you're paying your bills solely from competition, things change a little bit. You should still be having fun. I would say I've never paid my bills solely from competition, but I would sure think you should still be having some fun in that. I just think, did you do your best? Did you have fun? What are you going to do different for next time, or keep the same for next time? Or 3 things you can ask yourself to make sure that you're keeping the right mindset, to make sure that you're not letting defeat conquer you. You can lose and not get defeated. You can place last and not let it conquer you. Well, it's a hard truth. It is a hard truth. If you can come in dead last. I've come in dead last a lot. and to see your name on that list at the very bottom, that's humbling. Is that fun? No, it's not. That's not fun. But ask yourself these questions. Did I do my best? Work from there. Did I have fun? Work from there. All right, what am I going to do differently next time? Work from there. You can have the little pity party. I also believe in that. Feel your feelings. On the drive home, if you got to sit there, and I have shed a lot of tears in the pickup. If you got to sit there and kind of, oh man, that was terrible. That was a bad run. Golly, I just rode like a sack of potatoes. I don't even want to watch that video. Like, not right now. I'm not in the headspace to watch that. Whatever. Have your pity party. If you already decorated, I always say, I got to have this pity party. I already decorated. That's okay. But then move on back to those 3 questions. Did you do your best? Did you have fun? What are you going to do differently next time? So this one really geared toward my competitors, my jackpotters, my rodeo people, my show people, things of that nature. But I do think these lessons can apply to anything that you're doing with horses or any aspect of life where you're measuring your success by where your name falls on the results list, right? Dad always asked us these 3 questions. We'd come out from the arena. Sometimes we'd come out big old smile on our face because we knew we did good. Sometimes we'd come riding out and it was like, ugh, that did not pan out. My head was not in it. My heart was not in it. And I didn't try. I just sat there or whatever. Or I tried my best and it just didn't work out. And he would be standing there at the arena gate and he'd walk over and he'd loosen the cinch up. That's a dad thing. They're always messing with a cinch. And he'd look up and he'd ask those 3 questions. And it was just exactly what I needed in that moment to recenter myself. All of us, my siblings, myself. He would ask us, to kids who he'd kind of like adopted as their surrogate father. And it was exactly what I needed in the moment to recenter myself and be like, okay, on to the next. I am going to learn from this. Maybe I'll have a pity party. I already decorated, but then I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do what I just did. I'm going to make sure I'm having fun. I'm going to bulletproof my mindset around these 3 questions. So if you're going out next weekend or whatever, maybe you're taking the winter off and you're going to hit it hard in the spring, here's my pep talk to you. Imagine yourself riding out of the arena. I'm asking you, did you do your best? Did you have fun? And what are you going to work on for next time? And then make a plan and roll with it. Thank you for joining me at the trailer. I really appreciate you being here. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me on this ride. Check out my website if you'd like. I have my second poetry book out right now, Words of the West Volume 2. That is devinoutwest.com. Email me your comments, questions, anything like that, your stories at the Westward Podcast at gmail.com. And as always, check your cinch, check on your friends. God is good. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for talking at the trailer with me. Thank you for riding along with me, Westward. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, please share with a friend or follow the podcast, as it sure helps me out. I always want to hear your thoughts, comments, and suggestions, so shoot me an email at thewestwardpodcast@gmail.com or reach out on any of our social channels, all found at the Westward Podcast, or reach out to me personally at Devin Out West. I'm sure glad you're here, friend. Check your cinch and check on your friends.